let's kick this off first, guys. I want to say that I'm really honored to have you guys on the show. Really, I mean, it's really a pleasure. I'm a huge fan. Been a fan since 1985 when I first started the band, and knowing that you guys have a new album coming out, it means a lot. So I guess I can hold this up with pride if you could see it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep, we got the
It
vinyl.
was a Hurricane Take What You Want album.
Yeah. Well, John,
Nice.
well, thank you for being a fan and listening to us and believing in us. You know, we can't do what we do without having a fan, or two, or three, or four.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And many
Thank you.
millions is what you deserve, is what it is.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it's all up to the people.
Just
So
gotta
John,
keep-
when was the first time you heard of us?
Oh, it was I'll tell you guys a story of how I first heard you. It was funny because we were looking at a Hit Parader magazine. And there was an advertisement in there for the Take What You Want EP. And you know, we saw it. And what was funny is we were going to see you open for Stryper in a couple weeks at that time. So I had to go. I was looking at all the record stores here in Pittsburgh, and back then it was really hard to, you know, come across some of the newer stuff unless it was somebody that was like Iron Maiden or somebody big. And I had to special order the Take What You Want EP cassette from B&D Records out here in Pittsburgh. So
Yeah.
that was, I had it. Then we ended up seeing you guys, and the rest is history. Let's put it that way.
Well, I'm
That's a
glad.
great story.
Yeah. You enjoyed the
cool.
show, I hope.
Yeah, the show was fantastic. I mean, you know, opening for Stryper, you know, was a big thing for you guys right at that point. You know,
Right. It really kind of launched us.
right. And then what I always say about that EP is that's one of the best EPs that I've ever heard, and I think it's in the history of this genre because
Yeah.
you know the quality of the songs, the quality of the music, and then to be able to see, you know, the band live, and what you guys, and for a young band at that time to do what you did on the live scene, live show was amazing. It looked like you guys were veterans at that point.
We are now.
Oh, you are. That's it.
I don't know about then.
So I think first off, you know, before we get, you know, into the old stuff, let's talk about, you know, like I said, I welcome you guys to the show and everything. Let's talk about this lineup and how this lineup formed. I mean, you know, everything that I've heard so far, you know, Dan, you're fantastic fit on vocals, man.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, I mean, big shoes to fill, obviously. Because Kelly certainly had a damn good set of pipes on him. So yeah, it's been great to step in, and I love the songs. So that first and foremost, it's always good when you love what you're singing and stuff like that. So there's some cracking tunes, like you said, in the catalog. So yeah, it's been fun to join in.
And you know what's nice?
Dan came to us through a mutual friend, Andy Freeman from Last in Line. He's the one that recommended Dan. And because we were trying to get Andy Freeman to do the M3 festival with us, and he wasn't available. So he recommended Dan.
Yeah.
And, you know, we invited Dan to come to rehearse with us, and he came, he did his homework, and we only needed a 30-minute show for him. So it was pretty easy for him, being the pro that he is. And at that time, he was working with Tenors of Rock in Vegas. And
Yeah, I'd actually met Freeman.
with us, and he still does the Tenors of Rock. Aren't you, Dan? You're still doing that?
Something like that. Yeah. That's no bread and butter stuff. But yeah, no,
10 or
I
12.
worked with Freeman in
right?
Vegas, and yeah, it was a nice.
Well, you know, when he came down, we fell in love with him. Okay, so yeah, he's our guy. You know.
It was a good fit. It was good fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great fit when you can find somebody that really just can, you know, says genuine to the sound of the band, but also, you know, fits in. And Dan, I can tell that you know, you're really proud about, you know, the band's history, you know, the way you deliver, you know, the music, just from what I've heard. And I'm really excited to hear this album, guys. I mean, it's something I'm ready for. I mean, August 25th, I don't know if we can come that fast, man.
I think it's the
Thank you,
best
man.
album we've done so far. You know, it's the best one, I think.
I agree. Yeah.
You know what
It's
we
been-
wanted to do when we were recording this album is we wanted to make a more modern Hurricane sound. We didn't want to stick to the old 80s style. The tones and the songwriting and everything, it's a little bit more modern sounding, you know.
Right.
So, you know, that's what we wanted to do. And I think we achieved that. It feels good to, you know, accomplish something that we all planned to do from the very beginning. So,
But we kept the integrity of old Hurricane as well. You know, it's still the integrity is there though, you know,
oh, yeah, yeah.
Right, right.
completely band, even though we are a new band in a modern day Hurricane. But, you know, the trick is to try to still sound like the same band to some extent and not just become something completely different, you know?
No, we didn't want to be anything different. You're right. You know,
Right.
we still wanted to be Hurricane.
Yeah, it still retains the harmonics and the formulas of the old Hurricane, but it, like Tony was saying, in a modern way, because you know you're working with newer technology and also new ways of tripping things up. But you know, we put a lot of thought into the songs and the recording. It wasn't just thrown together. We put a lot of work in the writing and really thought about what are the songs about? What kind of message do we want to send out to the world? This album, and that's why it's being released worldwide, it's for the world. And once you hear it, you understand what we're talking about because it tells you a story of time. All the lyrics are about things that happened before or is happening or happened to us. But, you know, we really took we stepped back and we took a lot of time, especially during COVID. We actually had the time and the challenges to work around it and be creative. And we had an empty canvas and we
Right.
just had to like paste it together. And, you know, we've been working with Mike for many years. We've known him, we've toured together and to just
So we're about 13, 14 years in.
about
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
We met at a
Right, that's
strip
amazing.
bar. Mike and I, we
You
were
were the
sharing the
pole.
same table.
Yeah, the pole, and I was dancing on you. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny, Mike.
Hey, that's
No.
that's a template for meeting drummers, isn't it?
Not it should be. Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
Ba-dum-bum-ching.
Mike and I knew kind of each other because we shared a rehearsal room.
Mhm.
Remember, Mike? Way back.
Yeah,
I
when I
think
was playing with
Hollywood.
Dave Ezrin. I was with Dave Ezrin, Bob Ezrin's son.
Yeah,
Right.
way back. But to move forward, so having Daniel working with us, it's been great because he totally right from the beginning understood what we wanted to do and just really became one of us, as a songwriter, performer, contributing. It's definitely it's been great, working and bringing Dan into the environment of Hurricane. So we're very blessed with that and we're really happy with you, Dan.
Oh, thanks, mate. Jeez. it's good.
I think what's nice is even when you see, we got to see obviously some live footage and things on YouTube. It gets out there. I like what you guys have right now as far as it feels like the band has a lot of continuity. It doesn't even feel like like there's been that gap, as far as recording wise or as far as performing live. I mean, you guys sound great live, and I like that you could feel that transition, coming from a fan's point of view, from a fan's perspective.
Yeah, it's basically a power trio. Well, when you see us live and with a kick-ass singer, frontman, so it's just
Right.
old school, rock on. And we believe in that, studio's one angle, is one way of doing songs. When you're live. Every night is different. You're eating differently, you sleep different,
Play
you travel
differently.
different, you play differently.
Yeah.
So every night it's a little different. I speak for myself. I play
yeah.
and I treat the songs differently. Maybe the solo might change a little bit here and there. And
Yeah, if you're tired, you're going to play, differently than if you're wide awake.
so it depends on the coffee.
Yeah.
We have it backstage, and
There you go.
I
so,
got
You gotta make sure it's right, huh?
I
Absolutely.
just want, just
I got to
remind.
add to what Robert said. The first rehearsal I had with the boys, the sound just blew my balls off. Like the live sound, the energy. And we're in a tiny studio. It was great, and that's kind of where I was like, this is a proper live power rock band. Like let's do this. And it just felt great. But that sound just from the three of them blew me away. So
Yeah, it was loud in that room.
yeah, it was, which was great. But
We got a nice view though of the ships leaving
Right.
The port.
right. I mean, I couldn't hear for next
Rehearsing
week.
San Pedro. I gotta tell you, so Daniel shows up after how many hours driving on the first time?
He came from Vegas.
Yeah, I
We're
drove
from
straight
San
from Vegas,
Pedro,
right.
LA area.
You would drive probably like close to 5 hours.
It was about 5 hours. Yeah.
And he
Oh,
walks
man.
into the rehearsal room, we already set up, and he grabs the mic. He's like, it's just like
It's
killing
good.
it.
It was
Like,
great.
wow. This man, just drove all the way, from, long trip from Vegas to
Right.
San Francisco, California.
He was very prepared, John. He had he memorized everything. All the lyrics were memorized. He had no cheat sheets at all.
Yeah.
That's right.
But
No.
you memorized
Amazing.
them. I mean, showtime, you knew, you weren't, you didn't have to read it off the floor, nothing. I mean, you nailed it. It was
Thanks,
great.
boys.
Yeah. But
We're sleeping with dead, right? That's what we do.
yeah, but I just want to, let the audience know that we're still gonna be that rock band power trio with a kick-ass lead singer in the front, and to expect that, because we give it all we got. We do. We did it back in the 80s and the 90s, and we're still gonna continue giving it all. So that's what they're gonna get when they come to see us.
And the funny thing about it is when Robert, Mikey, and me get together, we haven't played together in like 8, maybe 10 months. We get
Right.
together and it's like we played yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's great. We don't need a lot of rehearsals. We just know what to do, and
Right.
it's great.
That's
Shit, I
good.
think-
That's
I think
professional.
we've done
That's
our rehearsals, haven't we?
None of us like it that much, but it's a necessary evil that we got to do.
right.
Rehearse on stage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
keep
it.
it dangerous.
yeah, yeah. Well, we'll do it at sound check.
All right.
Yeah, make sure everything sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, but that comes from being pros.
yeah,
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 Mike-
I
exactly.
mean, that's what.
Yeah. And we've all been there. We've all toured around the world. We've all, played with different bands, and, we played in Vegas, we played everywhere. And that's a sign of a pro to me, it's what we do for a living. So,
And jamming also,
Yeah.
Back in 80s and even before that, you were actually accepted to jam. You can take a song that was maybe 4 minutes and you can extend it and jam and improvise. And we do that. We do that, right, Mike? And Insane.
yeah,
I
we
mean-
just jam it out at the end.
We're like, okay, here's the cue, and here's the cue going into the jam, and here's the cue leaving the jam. That's it. We listen to that. So we just kind of like Grateful Dead, they would jam, a jam band.
Yeah.
Right, right,
We
right.
still do that, but sometimes, you do festivals and you get to do half hour or 45 minutes, or you kind of restrict it. So you got to keep that formula. But
Right.
yeah,
Right.
if we're headlining somewhere and we
Played
got
a
an hour and a
2 hour
half,
Mikey, get the drum solo.
yeah, we
Yeah. Everybody go to the bar. Everybody go have a beer. I got this one.
Right.
That's it.
Next 8 minutes. Let's go.
Take your
Hey.
time. Take your time.
Yeah, that's his moment to show off. Everybody's got to have that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Makes him stand out. Guys, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the new album, but let's talk about the new single that obviously hit in Europe, but will hit in the States tomorrow. I mean,
Mhm.
tell us about how that song came about, and kind of like I think it still has that good, even though I haven't heard the whole song. From what I've heard, it still has that good solid hurricane vibe, but it's like what you guys said, it still has that modern kick too. And the production, is massive, and you can hear that on it. Tell us about that new single.
Well, that came from Mikey, actually. That idea and the whole thing came from him. And so, yeah, I'll let Mikey tell you the story if he wants to.
Well, you got $54,000? No, I'm just kidding. It was about my divorce. It was about my divorce. So, I always wanted to, do a song. I didn't want to do a song, but, it would happen when I make it really quick. But, it's just something that happened in my divorce, and the guys that were helping me, like, support me during my bad time. I mean, you've seen the Johnny Depp, position that happened. Well, mine was very similar to him, except mine wasn't on TV. And so, the guys just said one day, man, I hope you write a song one day called Rockstar Cheater. And I said, man, maybe someday I will. So years later came, and this, we got, Dan on board, and we decided to do this new record. And so I sat down and wrote a bunch of lyrics. And then, I had a conceptual idea of, how I wanted the song to go on this particular one, since, I was carrying this one. And, everybody just kind of, stepped up and, did their part, and, came to me and, said, hey, what about this? What about that? Daniel helped me massage the lyrics, to fit his format, and then, Robert did the same thing. I told Robert, hey, man, I'm looking for this kind of vibe. We're all very open-minded musicians in this band. Everybody's not very set in their ways. So we're very colorful that way. And that's how we did it. So it's
it was the last song we recorded on the album.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
fun.
That's cool.
There you have it. So it's a true story.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
That's cool, because the life experiences are what music's about, and that's kind of like what you guys see. So to hear that song and to hear all the things that you do, I'm really excited to hear that tomorrow. I mean, that'll be the first thing as soon as I wake up. I get ready to start work, sign in the computer, and I'm right on YouTube to get that song, man. I'm telling you.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, I
Can't wait
love
to hear
the
it.
song. It's a great song. I'm glad it's our first single.
Can't wait to play it on stage.
Yeah.
The world
Oh,
likes
that's gonna
it.
be.
I hope everybody likes it.
I'll guarantee they will.
Good.
I'll guarantee they will.
So
I'll be
Don't want it to be a Jason Alden tune. I hope not. I mean, you heard what happened to him just now, right?
I heard a little bit. Go ahead, tell that story. I haven't heard the whole.
No, he's getting in trouble right now for us. He just wrote, when he just platformed it, and it's causing all kinds of controversy, because it's about it caters to it's kind of caters to igniting violence, is what I'm saying. So like even like Pro jumped in and said, ban this. So they banned the video just yesterday or today, I think. It was really
Wow.
yeah. So I'm just saying, I hope they don't read this weird, So just that's all.
Yeah.
It's a touchy world now. Everything's so touchy and so sensitive.
It is.
It is. You speak about what you do, you say the wrong things, all of a sudden, your career is over with.
But ultimately, with this particular song, it's literally a true story. It's a real story. It's like there's no, it's Mikey went through it, but and now it's immortalized in a song, bro.
Here we are. I can tell the world.
Right.
That's cool though. I mean, a true story, and then it's the opening single too. So
yeah, I'm glad. It's one of my favorite songs on the record, and I'm glad.
Well, guys, you have the new record comes out August 25th, titled Disconnected, which is when I saw that advertised that you guys were back, it gave me an instant smile, because like I said, I've been a fan for so long, and to see the band coming back, and I know a lot of fans are going to feel the same way. You guys are already getting a lot of good feedback, I hear, from the things that I see. Tell us a little bit about that new record. I mean, what do we have to look forward to? What was some of the things that stand out to you guys that you could tell the audience, hey, look for this, look for this.
I mean, straight off the bat, it's a bit of old mixed with the new kind of thing as well. We have revisited some tunes as well, and added them to the album, and then of course, obviously there's new material as well. So it's kind of like a perfect mash of the new version of Hurricane. But yeah, I mean, the other guys can add more to that, obviously.
Yeah, we got some good songs on it. You know, Behind Your Shadow is a song that we wrote a while back, and it's on the EPK, you know, the last part of the EPK, and I think that's going to be a good song. People are going to like that. It's a real deep song, and
I like it already, Tony.
we got a song called Disconnected, which to me is based on people so into AI and always looking at their phones all the time, and they're not really talking to their friend or their girlfriend or whatever. They're looking at their phone more than they're looking at their girlfriend, and it's kind of about that.
Right.
One cover song that we did was David Bowie / Queen, Under Pressure, and we did our version of that.
Nice.
And we got a video coming out on that, and all the response on that so far has been really positive. So it's not been released yet, but everybody that has seen it, you know, in our world of record companies and stuff like that, they love it. They think it's great. So I can't wait till that's released.
Yeah.
And also our the head of the record company called me up, and he wants to do You and I for the second video before Under Pressure. You know, so he's gonna put together a video for You and I, the song called You and I. And that's going to be the second release before Under Pressure. That's what he wants to do. So he loves that song, You and I. So
It's so interesting that, you know, everybody has their own feel of what song they feel that, you know, should be released. And the artist relations over at Escape Music has been really like a good set of ears to know the market of what they hear, because you get really close to the subject, and sometimes you feel that, well, maybe the other one should be the next single. But it's kind of nice having, you know, actually two record companies working together, which is Deco Entertainment.
yeah, Deco Entertainment
and Escape Music.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I'm not sure if they've ever worked together, but they knew each other. I think they've worked together before in the past, but yeah, it's a lovely thing, you know, because now we have South America. I speak totally Spanish, Cuba, I'm Cubano. So, you know, us going to South America.
Yo hablo un poquito.
Él puede hablar un poquito, yo hablo mucho, especialmente con cafecito, you know. And if we play Miami, you know, in Miami, there's still a lot of Latinos in there. But we're kind of trying to cover all the territories, you know, with Europe. We can't wait to go and tour in Europe as well. So yeah, but the record's very melodic, which retains that formula of the passion and love that we love with vocals. And, you know, the vocals are definitely melodic and beautiful, and some of the songs are slightly romantic. So, you know, some people there with a nice romantic attitude, they'll probably adapt to some of the songs that we have. It's got a little bit of everything in there. It's very musical and organic.
That's good to hear. Like I said, I can't wait to hear it. I mean, you know, just hearing those little pieces that you guys put out with the EPK, you know, I've been sharing them with everybody, and the feedback that I get, man, I can't wait, you know, to hear this.
Another month and it'll be released.
I think you guys are going to do really well with this.
Thanks, John.
Pittsburgh is a big rock town, man. Pittsburgh is a big rock town.
Yeah.
It definitely is. It definitely is. We love it. So I'm hoping you guys got it on a schedule.
Well, we're trying.
Yeah.
If you don't, I'll invite you right to my place, and we'll set up a stage outside.
Let's do it.
Get it all done,
There we
man.
go.
That's it.
Let's
That's
do
it. We got plenty of room. But you know, you talk about, you know, this new record, and how about a song like Behind Your Shadow? You know, we didn't get to hear the entire thing yet, but what do the fans have to look forward to that? Because I think that song it's going to have a lot of appeal, like Robert said, to so many different fans.
Yeah, we've actually done that song a couple of times live already over the years, and it's always gone down fairly well. So yeah, I'm hoping that kind of continues through the recorded space as it does with the live version. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that Dan does a beautiful job singing it. And, you know, when I hear it, it gives me goosebumps. And you know, that's what I like. It's warm and deep sounding. And with Dan's vocals, it actually gives me goosebumps. And then it kind of starts off and then it comes in heavy, and it's just a real knockout song.
It's emotional.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
really has a lot of
Yeah.
emotions.
Yeah.
You know? Even playing it, we have performed this song already live, and the breathing changes, you know, as you play, because it has a lot of push and pull. You know, it's not on a click, it's a push and pull. It's very emotional. And Dan, that's the way he sang it, very emotional.
Yeah.
You know, and the way I played it, Tony and Mike, you know, it had the groove. It was swinging, you know.
Yeah, really nice groove.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
you guys,
Groovy, man. It's groovy.
groovy, man. That's it.
The backbeat, push and pull, and push and pull. Yeah.
It is. You know, like I said, the pieces I've heard, you know, even the live, you know, bits that I've heard, the way the song's delivered. And I even told Mel already, I said, this is a hit. I said, I've only heard 30 seconds of this song, but I can't wait to hear the whole thing. There's
I
no
can't
doubt
wait for
about
you to
that.
hear it either.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey,
Yeah.
wait to hear it either.
yeah, when you guys finally get it out there, I know it's going to be exciting because I know a lot of hard work, a lot of effort, a lot of emotion goes into this.
Tomorrow
Lot
you'll
of
get
patience.
to listen to the whole Rockstar Cheater.
I can't wait to hear that.
Yeah.
Now I know the story behind it, so I mean,
Yeah.
I'm already listening with a different perspective.
Right.
Yeah. Check out the lyrics. Yeah.
We could have added probably 2 or 3 more verses to it, but we decided to shorten it.
Yeah, I had
a lot
to
to talk
edit
about.
a lot of it out
Yeah.
for you know, time reasons for the
Yeah.
album, you know.
Which is interesting because it's also going to be released on a vinyl.
Yeah,
Old school.
that's why.
Yeah.
That's why.
And we had to pay attention to how many minutes per side. So
Right.
that's what I
right.
mean. This album's really organic. I mean, it's I can't wait to hear it on a Macintosh power amplifier with a good needle and a turntable. Analog. I mean, analog sounds great.
It does. It
Forward
does.
to that.
Well, you know what you got to do, Mike. Make this as a piece of a CD as an extended version. You know, drop it out and then have that special, and then add the last 2 verses to it.
Part 2.
Yes.
You know, when you guys go in to record a song, what's it like to record a Hurricane song? I mean, is it something where, you know, one of you comes up with a riff, or is it based off of a chorus or a harmony? How do you guys go in and to write a song? Because it's like you said earlier, how melodic this band is. You know, even the heavier things you guys have done, you know, still have that great hook, that great melody. So what's the chemistry behind a Hurricane song?
Well, there is no real set formula, and I'm sure you've heard this from other, you know, writers. It all depends. It's all about, you know, getting inspired, a moment, being human, and hearing something that happened in, you know, someone that you know, or it's really hard to pinpoint and say, oh, this is because of, you know, the way that there's no real formula. And that's one of the things that we really try to stay away from, you know, artificial intelligence, because
Right.
I know that there's formulas and there's programs that you can write, but it's not coming from your
Right.
soul, your own heart, and everybody individually. So
Right.
for me to answer a question like that, all the songs are different. It could be a melody idea or a chord structure or yeah, they're all different.
But we always put all our own thing into it as well. You know, everybody listens to it and they play what they feel fits the song. And Dan sings what he thinks fits the song. He sings what he thinks. And then Mike is always, you know, the groovy guy, always, you know, grooving with what he thinks fits. And most of the time it works out. We just leave it alone. Everybody has the freedom to do their own thing. And it just works. It's the chemistry's there as far as that goes.
And again, I'm sure you've heard other bands say it as well, but some tunes, some melodies come really quickly, and then others take a bit longer to kind of percolate. But yeah, I mean, it works. It does work in its own kind of hurricane way at the moment, which is cool.
This album, John, this album was remote.
We did it remotely. That's right.
This whole album was remote.
Everybody has their little studios at home, and Mikey's probably got the most advanced one with his drum room. You know, his is pretty advanced, I would imagine. But everybody else is just simple, you know, a laptop and inbox, and we email the stuff back and forth.
Right.
And then once we get the tracks down, we try to mix them the best we can, and then we send it to the record company, and they do their thing to it. So
how do you guys feel about? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I think I went down to LA a couple of times with Robert, and we were in a studio and laid down some.
Yeah, we were at the Institute of Noise.
That's right. Yeah.
Andy Zuckerman's studio.
That's always good to record vocals with other people in there, kind of, you know, just to give you a bit more of everything. So yeah.
They give you the push, huh?
That's it, right?
That little bit, yeah. Seeing that audience, saying, "Man, I got to get this done."
Yeah.
That was one of the things I wanted to ask you guys. Was everything's so different now, you know, than it used to be. It used to be the band going into the studio, and you have the producer, you know, in there, the engineers, you pounding it out, sweating it out in there to make a record. But how do you guys feel about this formula of going in? You know, like you said, doing it remotely and sending things. Do you feel that it has that vibe like it used to have, or what's the strong points of doing this?
I took upon producing the record, and I have produced, you know, other albums, including one of my own that's been out for many years. It's called After the Storm. You know, the way that we like doing it is everybody being in the same room and doing pre-production, and to everybody bringing ideas and showing up every day, 5 days a week. And you know, it's the job. And you show up in the room, everybody just kind of feels all the parts. But then you have to sit back and go, okay, now let's really dig really deep into the songs with melodies and chorus and tempos and tuning and changing the choruses in different keys. And it's just, it's a different way that we had to do it, and we had no other choice to do it remotely. And I think we had done this album already like 3 years. So we're kind of like 3 years behind, because we had to figure out how to do it remotely. And we were writing, and I would get on my Pro Tools. I actually did most of my guitar tracks in my boat. I live in a boat.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was really interesting recording amplifiers, small amps with, you know, ribbon mics, Cascade, vintage amps, and you're moving it around in different rooms in the boat. But luckily, my boat is all wood inside. It's a fiberglass boat. So it had that harmonic of wood resonance, you know, like you would have in the studio. But Mike set up a great kick-ass studio in his home also, and Tony did the same. We're all kind of like in Pro Tools, and Dan as well. Dan came and recorded some of the vocals in the Valley, and Andy Zuckerman's studio. So we were working. We really did this album in a lot of different studios, even way back.
Tim's studio.
Tim's studio, and
Under Pressure, we did that.
Yeah, but you know, when you have to use your imagination to produce a record like this, you really got to just close your eyes, and you got to feel. You got to feel what's happening. just like
Right.
if you're in front of everybody, just like we are right now. I mean, yeah, I can touch Tony and I can feel his energy and his body heat. He's
Right,
getting
right.
really hot. I'm kidding. We go be back. but what I'm saying is, I'm looking at Mike, I'm looking at Dan, I'm looking at you, John, and I feel that we're connected. And that's about, the album being titled, Reconnected, because we are connected. And we kind of did the album in a really avant-garde manner of how to record and put it together. But at the same time, we were connected. Spiritually,
Right.
we were.
Right.
I mean, it
I hope
helped.
that answers kind of your
it
question.
helps
What, Dan?
It helped that we'd already done 3 or 4 songs from the album in a live setting anyway together as a group. So it that gelled, that helped gel everything as well.
Yeah.
On a number of tracks too. Yeah.
But we would love to, from here on, get into a room and be there for a bunch of days and just work out material, because that's a lot of fun too, to actually, and you get things done a lot quicker.
Right. That's great to hear that story, because when that's what I always tell the bands, when I get to hear how, the artists do the recording and the backstories behind these things, it makes me a better fan and a better listener. You kind of, when you listen to music, I always have my headphones on and you kind of go into that state, that kind of like dream state. You picture yourself somewhere, you listen. It's to me, it's the best art that there could possibly be. And that's why I give you guys so much credit for what you do. And it comes from a appreciation from me as a fan. So please keep doing it, because we're
Thank
Thank
listening.
you, John.
Thank you.
It means a lot. Yeah, Mike is crying.
Most of
making me
we make a lot of sacrifices to do what we do,
Yeah.
because we love
Right.
doing it,
Right.
You're gonna like the vinyl, John, because it's like the old school thing you're talking about. The way we did it was we did a sleeve inside. So you're gonna be able to sit there and like read a bunch of stuff and read the lyrics and everything, just like we did back in the day.
That's nice. I got to order the vinyl package. I got the CD, but now I gotta get the vinyl. That way I'll have everything. I'll be set. And
Yeah, the vinyl's
listening
gonna
to it.
be
Hey guys, I wanted to, like I said, I've been listening to you since '85. I wanted to talk about the early days. Obviously, like I said, that EP hit, and it was changing for, I was at that stage, and I was a teenager, obviously, and and I had that EP, and and I remember the days that I've first heard it, and my favorite song to this day is still "Take Me in Your Arms," and it's the opening track to that EP, and it's a song to me that I think is I guess the best way to put it is it never lost any of that strength that it had back then. It's still relevant to this day. Still sounds great. What was it like, as an experience for you guys back then too?
It was the unknown experience. We had no
Right.
idea what's going to happen. All we knew it was like, hey guys, let's come up with some material.
Yeah, we were in a rehearsal room
Yeah.
and we just, started jamming, and I like that part. And we had little cassette recorders
Yeah.
and we'd record everything.
Yeah.
And we'd write a song around what we recorded. And at that time, I lived upstairs from Robert, and me and Robert, we were always, writing together daily. And then we'd take it to the studio and work with our singer and our drummer at the time, Kelly Hansen and Jay Schellen at the time, who, by the way, we were so excited and happy
Yeah.
for those guys who went on to do stellar careers. Jay would Yes and Kelly
Right.
would Foreigner. And we wish them nothing but the best. We love that they made it, to those levels, and they deserve it. So anyway,
Great.
that's how we did it back in the early days. The way we did this album just now is the weirdest way I've ever done it. I've never done it, and I didn't know what I'm still learning how to use this stuff, and
Right. Right.
but you know, for me, recording bass is pretty easy. Playing it is hard, but recording the sound and the tones is pretty easy. I know exactly what to do, how to get a good tone. And you know, Robert will send me a track via email, and I'll upload it on my Pro Tools, and I'll just play along with it, and I send it back to him. And if he likes what I did, great. If he don't, I go back to the drawing board. You know, it's like,
Right.
but it's all give and take. You know, he gives me an idea, and then I play along with that, and then I give him an idea. Why don't we change this chord to this or something like that? And that's how we do it. You know, we bounce it back and forth until we get it right. And then we send Mike a click track with it, and then he does his drumming to it. And you know, we do that back and forth for a while until everybody's satisfied with what we did. And then usually Dan does everything last. You know, we get him on board last, and he has the whole track rough mix, and he does his vocals. And that's how we did it, because we all live, you know, me and Robert live close enough together, but Mikey lives in Chicago and Dan lives in Las Vegas. So, you know, for us to get together and rehearse regularly, it's impossible. So you have to do it remotely, you know, which.
But also, Dan, I gave him some ideas with acoustic guitar, and then we would just vibe on that. Remember, we were like modulating.
Yeah, we started one of the songs in an airport. I'm pretty sure we started one in an airport at like 4 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, you know, songs on the-
Hey, whenever it comes to you, you got to do it, huh?
Yeah.
So they're all different. You know, they all have a different way of going about it. There's no real set formula, especially because of the way we recorded this record. But I think it came out like we were all in the same room, because mentally and spiritually we were connected. And I think it's a great title for the album, because being reconnected as we are right now, where we're all in different places, except, you know, Tony and I were in the same room. But yeah, it's about the album is kind of futuristic also, because it's got elements of before, the past, and today and tomorrow, because of the all the AI, you know, that's going on right now, and it's real, and it's been going on for many years. So it kind of talks about, you know, the future, where we're heading with things, with all the digital, you know, stuff going on.
It's also just the band as a whole reconnecting again with the fans and with the audience with a new album. So it just made 100% sense to go with that as a title for what we were bringing forward. Yeah.
And we, you know, when I mentioned, you know, the classic, you know, albums and everything, and I hear what you guys are doing now, you know, obviously, you know, Robert and Tony being originals, but Mike, the way you and Dan fit in, and I'm talking about the sound too. You know, those albums, you know, had that nice heavy drum kick with Jay, and you know, and obviously Kelly, Dan. I mean, you know, iconic vocalist. But I think that you guys, you know, step in so well to complement what they did. So it's like a, you know, transcending time, and you have two guys that really just nail it. And I said again, I can't wait to hear it. You know, just from what I've heard, from the live stuff I've seen, it's going to be fantastic.
Thank you, man. Well, as I said earlier, I mean, it's big shoes to fill when it comes to Kelly Hansen's voice. You know what I mean? But I actually had the pleasure of seeing him in Foreigner in Vegas a few months ago, and just insanely incredible. So it's really good to take on some of that, as well as bring my own kind of thing to the band. So it's just it's a good thing.
So when I, you know, thinking about, you know, those classic songs, and obviously, you know, Over the Edge is what I wanted to talk about. You know, back then, guys, at number 33 on the Billboard charts for I'm On to You, and you know, the band was kind of at that point where you thought, man, these guys are going to explode. What was that like for you? And the reason I bring that up is because, you know, the way you guys do I'm On to You right now, you know, I think it really brought that classic style again back to the modern element, and the way you do it now, I mean, it really comes across great live. just from the little clips that I've heard.
People love that song. They always sing along with it, and you know, when we play it, and we decided to put it back on the record, just to kind of remind people who we are, you know, and we love the song, and you know, we wanted to do a modern version of it, and that's the whole reason why we decided to put it on the record, a new version of the song.
It needed to be recatalogued. Just needed to be recatalogued, you know.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, bring it back out. I think that's a great idea, you know, that to touch with the fans that, you know, there's a lot of fans. I mean, let's face it, that only know like the popular stuff, you know, and that song right there is one of those you get the entire audience in, and you know, the girls like it, the guys like it. It's just one of those classic songs, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So
It did
what's
well.
Oh, go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, it did well. The song did well back in the 80s.
It's still getting played on
Yeah,
Hair
Hair
Nation
Nation, yeah.
every day, daily, several
Yeah.
times.
Right. I
Yeah.
hear it on there all the time, man. That I always say when I hear something good, it's an 11 crank. That stereo, yeah, as high as it can get. You know, you want to blow the windows out, and you want everybody to hear it.
Yeah.
You know, you get that live experience. You know, you guys, you know, we were talking about early, you know, when you went on that tour with, you know, the tours with Stryper, and that was the first time I got to see the band, you know, live, and I remember one of the things that stands out is Robert, you playing the guitar solo with the bow. I thought that was really cool. I mean, you know, like Jimmy Page style. Tell us a little bit about that, man. I thought that was really cool because that was the first time I actually got to see it.
I picked that up because I used to fiddle with the fiddle when I was younger.
That sounds
Yeah.
with the fiddle.
And
That sounds
yeah, I mean, look, let me explain one thing. So
don't be fiddling around over there.
I'm in
No
Miami,
fiddling.
right? I'm gigging, playing clubs 7 nights a week in Miami. And so playing in rock bands, you're a cover band and you're playing till 4 o'clock in the morning. So a 3-piece power trio, right? All of a sudden you got to play what's in the jukebox, right? And you want to keep people dancing, right? That's how you get paid. People dance, sweat, drink. Okay. So what happened was that we didn't have a keyboard player. Barry White became real big. Well, all the orchestrations came up, you know. So I'm like, how the hell are we going to pull this out, right? How are we going to do this? So I got the violin bow that I had at home, and I started playing it on the guitar, you know, emulating the sound of an orchestra with a wobble pedal. I'm going, well, that's kind of trippy. So I added vintage reverb that I had back then. This is the 70s, right? And then I added some delay and go, wow, this is really cool. So I started playing the bow on the guitar. And Jimmy Page was doing it as well back then, but he was getting really psychedelic, mainly just for effects. And I love what he was doing, but I wanted to be more musical. So that's why I started using it, you know, with Hurricane. But the song Reconnected, the song Disconnected, the album's Reconnected. All those orchestrations, that's all bowing on the guitar. And also It's Only Heaven. Back in the day with Hurricane, that was all bowing the guitar.
EP. Take
So-
what you want.
Yeah, so it's kind of trippy, you know, with the effects but all that. I'm not going to tell you the song. I'm not going to sing it because I'm not a singer to be singing the lead. That would be Daniel, but you're going to hear the bowing and the guitar. So it's coming back. It's got to come back. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not playing the bow.
I can't wait to hear it. How about some of those classic songs? I mean, what is there going to be things that you guys are going to bring back? And when you look back at those albums, obviously the band has a history. How do you guys go back into that back catalog and say, hey, you know, let's put this on the set list? Because obviously Dan can sing everything. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. So is it one of those things you say, hey, we want to test this guy and see what he can do, or is it just, hey, let's pick our best stuff out? How do you guys go about doing that?
Well, we pick our favorite songs out of all the catalog. We pick our favorite ones, and you know, like Hurricane, the song Hurricane, which is our moniker song, basically. And
Right.
then, you know, we have Insane, we have Take Me in Your Arms, like you said, It's Only Heaven. And then the one song that we did with the Alice Cooper song, I'm 18, which
Right.
was on Over the Edge. That was Bob Ezrin's idea. He wanted to do that song because it was 18 years later since he did it, and he thought it'd be a really cool idea. And so we came up with that version, and he loved it. So, you know, that's one of our favorite songs. And then we have several other songs. You know, of course, I'm On to You and Messing with a Hurricane. All those are good songs, you know, and we like to play them. It just depends on the time that we have to play. You know, if we have an hour and a half to 2 hour show, then we will add more of those songs into the set along with the new ones. And of course, Mikey gets to do his drum solo, and Robert can do his guitar solo, and me, I'll go behind the amp and have a beer or something, you know.
That's it. Hey, you know, you got to incorporate a bass solo in it, Tony. Surprise them one day.
Nobody likes bass solos. Everybody kind of go, okay, so they go get a beer during my bass solo. So I turn it the other way around. I'll go get a beer during the solos, you know.
That's it. That's cool. That's cool. I really can't wait to see, you know, you guys doing the tour, and I can't wait to, you know, to see the band live. You know, again, like I said, it's been since, you know, the 80s since I've seen you. And, you know, being, you know, like I said, that age, and I still remember those two shows because I got to see you twice with Stryper. And I have a friend that lives in, he lives near LA right now. And he's, you know, he wasn't a Stryper fan at that time. You know, he really didn't get the, you know, the Christian, you know, type thing that they were doing. And I told him, I said, listen, you're going to love these guys, and you're going to love Hurricane as well. Trust me. And I remember he came out of that show and he says, "You were exactly right, Betty, because those guys were awesome." You know, so for you guys to be doing that tour, you know, it's I'm really glad to have you back. Like I said again, I know I say it a lot, but it's the truth.
You know, it's funny that, you know, when we were touring with Stryper, everybody thought we were a religious band too. And we're not at all, you know. And we had to be very careful about what we said on stage and all that stuff because it was a Stryper show. And so we were really gray in that area. We didn't talk religion. We didn't say any cuss words or nothing like that. You know, we didn't even get to drink on stage like a lot of bands get to do. You know, we didn't do any of that, you know.
Sweet.
Right. Right.
But we did have
He's
a lot
laughing already.
Yeah.
we did have a lot of fun with them, and yeah, we did practical jokes, you know, while they were playing, and they would do the same to us as well. We became a family. It was a lot of. We're fans of Stryper, and we love their music and what they stand for, and it's really positive, and it's just, you know, it was great. We did over 200 something shows with them. Right?
I was gone for 8 months. I came home and I had a baby boy. Staying before on blankets. And I'm going, what?
Surprise. Yeah.
Yeah, we were always gone.
And it's funny,
Right.
you know, when I found out that he was born, I was in Pittsburgh.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know, I walked
That's cool.
to the hotel that we were staying at because we had a gig the following night in Pittsburgh. And the lady behind the counter goes, "Are you Tony Cavazo?" And I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "You better call your wife. She just had a baby."
And she was mad at you.
I go, "What?" So I had to find a phone booth and I had to go call her. So I talked to my mother-in-law, Okwa. I talked to her, and you know, I couldn't wait to get home to meet the little guy, and I did. And his name is TJ.
That's amazing.
He's a great guy, really is.
That's a great story. Hey, there might be a song in this somewhere.
Yeah, I found out.
Yeah, that's it.
But, you know, we love what we do, but it's also, you know, there's things that you have to miss, you know, when you have this kind of profession, and it just goes with it, and you have to accept that. It's actually the road, and our fans are our other family. We have family at home. We have the other family, you know, out there. And yeah, so it's trying to keep the balance within both of them, you know. and staying healthy, you know.
It's
eating
much
well.
easier nowadays because everybody's got cell phones and we can call each other and
Yeah.
FaceTime every
Yeah.
day.
Exactly.
Back in those days, you know, I wouldn't speak to my family for like a couple weeks at a time because there, you know, is the time difference and there's, you know, you didn't have enough change for the pay phone. And you'd wait till you get to a hotel and use the hotel phone to call home and see how things were going. And, you know, most of the time they're mad at us because we're not there, you know, it was just part of it, you know.
Right.
It's a lot.
Used to write letters too.
Yeah, send cards and
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Send cards and money. But you know, it's what we love to do, and we'll, you know, we're ready to do it all over again. But it is a lot easier now. Oh
Yeah.
Jesus, you know, so you have to
Right.
embrace the digital world. You know, you just adapt to it, and yeah, it's great to be in the bunk and, you know, being on the phone. And,
Yeah. Well, I did it, you know, I've been doing a lot of cruise ship gigs, and my wife now, Mel, you know, we would talk every day, every night, 3 times a day, just see how things are going, how you feeling, what's going on at home, you know, things like that.
Right.
And that's how you stay connected. You know, you call every day and you just talk to them. You know, I'd call my kids, I'd, you know, call Robert, you know,
Yeah.
we'd call each other, just see how things are going. You know, we'd have group meetings like what we're doing right now on I'd be on the ship, and it was mostly phone calls. It wasn't like a video like this because the internet on the ship, as Dan knows very well, it's crap.
Right. I can't even believe there is any. It's amazing.
I mean, yeah, the internet, it's just terrible.
Right.
And spotty, very spotty, and you get really frustrated.
I think we actually came up with we decided on the name for the album in one of those phone calls where we were catching every word
Yeah.
of everyone. Yeah.
Guys, can you?
It was a very long conversation for one word.
When you go on a ship, can you bring your own internet service?
No, you have to tie into theirs. You might be able to bring a Wi-Fi box or something that would make it stronger.
But the satellite, hooking up to a satellite,
Yeah,
can we
yeah.
do that? Starlink, can we do that? They don't allow it?
That's what they use, Starlink.
Bring your own, you know.
Well, you know, you can bring your own computer and all that kind of
Anything
stuff.
that you want.
Right.
Yeah. Bring your own.
Bring a pigeon and put lots of pigeons.
That's great. Guys, I know a lot of people ask you this question, and I know, you know, when people listen here, they're going to say, hey, you know, do you guys think, you know, that the original lineup would ever reunite to do anything? I mean, like something like some of the bands do, you know, have all you guys here and then have Kelly and Jay involved with anything special like that. Do you guys think that would ever happen?
I highly doubt it. You know, those guys, you know, they're there. You know, they're touring all over the world and they're there. I mean, Kelly with Foreigner, he's playing 200 to 300 shows a year.
Right.
And they're on tour right now, and they're going to last all the way through 24, from what I understand.
Right.
So he's gone, you know, and I'm sure he makes, you know, a nice chunk of change for doing that, as well as Jay. Jay's been with Yes for several years now.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and you know, when Alan White passed away, you know, he got the gig for good, and he's that kind of drummer. He can play that kind of crazy stuff like Yes plays, and
Yeah, he's a progressive drummer for sure. Yeah,
exactly. He's
Right.
progressive, and you know, he's soft, he's hard. You know, and we're so happy that those guys did it because we were brothers on the road. You know, we spent a lot of time together on the road in the United States and Japan and, you know, other places in Canada. And, you know, we went through a lot together, you know, and, you know, a lot of suffering, a lot of, you know, headaches that we had to deal with, you know, all stuck in a van and, you know, dealing with that we did at the beginning. And then we graduated up to you know, a motorhome, which was a little better. And then we ended up in a tour bus, which was really nice. You know, it was a nice tour bus.
Right.
Then we started just flying, you know, flying's easiest, but you still have to get on a bus to go from like a regional area that you're touring to. You know, the bus is the way to go, or rent a nice SUV or a van or something. That's the way people are doing it now. So
A little bit different, huh? That it used
yeah,
to be.
yeah. You know, we used to carry all our own gear now, and everybody, you know, they use backlines, and you know, we don't. We it's cheaper just to use the backline that they give us, and sometimes, you know, for me, I can plug into a toaster and make it sound good. It doesn't matter. I mean, I can play.
That's right.
And you know, Robert has his setup that he can use. He don't even have to have an amp anymore, and it sounds great. You know, Mikey
That's
can
it. That's
probably,
it.
you know, get some trash cans out in the alley and make it sound good.
Yeah. Triggers.
Yeah. Go to the local hardware store and they got those big empty containers.
Yeah.
You know, they
Yeah,
use
that's it.
Times Square in New York City. They're banging on it with sticks. You know?
No, I actually got one of those bodysuits. This is how I really did the record, and it's got triggers all over it. And that's how I did the
Yeah, there you go.
Good.
You shouldn't have told him that. Now it's gonna happen. You could be playing live with one of those suits on.
We can play a smaller club like that.
Dressed up as a
That's
nun.
it. So you know, when you guys are, you know, like the album's August 25th, obviously, and we're looking forward to that dropping. What do you guys think that some of the shows will be starting? Is it something that's going to be starting soon after the launch of the album, or is it going to be, you know, everything's still in the planning stages, kind of?
It all depends, you know. I've got other commitments, and you know, Robert does too. We got other commitments. So if Hurricane's going to be booked, it's going to have to be booked around those shows, and that's totally possible. But right now, next year, at the beginning of the year, I'm wide open. You know, I can do anything after that. So
Yeah, we're all kind of tapering off.
we're shooting for the, you know,
projects
end of
right
this
now.
year, beginning of next year.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. 'cause
It
that-
takes a minute. It takes time. Plus, we need to get traction on the record, man. You know.
Yeah,
So
that,
we-
and then we got to put a rehearsal schedule together, and either figure out if we're going to do that remotely through Elk Live, or have Mikey come and, you know, down here and hang for a week before we go out, you know, and then we all fly to the first city. That's one way. You know, it'd be better to do it that way.
That would be better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably just structure before we all, you know, join. Well, it's kind of challenging because you got to have a 30-minute set, 45,
Yeah.
60, 1.5, and
Even
you
a
got to
2-hour set.
yeah, and structure all the formulas and what songs you're going to do where, and then everybody individually, you know, just work it out mentally. Because again, you know, we have a power trio, and I had, you know, dub guitar parts, and there's all the, you know, sounds in there that have to be, you know, recreated. So those are things that we have to, you know, actually as a band figure out what direction do we want to do? Do we want to get just like the record, or keep it a little bit dangerous
More
and
raw sounding.
rock sounding? I like the dangerous part.
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. You know, I have a bass synthesizer pedal that I use, and that adds a lot. You know, when I hook that up, it adds another dimension to the bottom end and the bass, and it just sounds really mean. And I try to use that during lead solos if it's feasible for me to use. You know, if I'm playing a lot of licks during lead solo, I don't really do it. But if I'm just holding the bottom, then I hit it, and it just makes everything sound huge. Oh, you know, underneath the Robert's guitar solo,
Which is great because, you know, once you don't have that rhythm track that I did in the recording, it works great. So it sounds a little different, but then it's kind of fresh. You know,
Right.
listen to a band that's going to sound just like they did on the record. You might as well just stay home and have a beer or two, right?
Exactly.
I want to get a different experience when I go and see a show. I want to see it live. I want to see, you know, without the safety net. I want to see
right.
what's going to happen, you know, and all the
danger.
That's it.
the danger part of it, because it is dangerous, you know, and
That's right. That's right.
you know, singing live and running around, and you know, it's all live singing, it's all backup vocals live, everything, drumming live, everything. And so those are the fun things that, you know, we look forward to.
That's all being planned. So yeah, we'll see how the album goes.
Yeah, and it's going to sound a little different every day. So
Right.
for those of you that want to see us maybe twice, you know, like on a weekend, you know, from one area to the other, we might even pull out different songs. we might, you know, try something different.
Yeah, 'cause we'll have different versions of a half-hour set, different versions of a 1-hour set, you know, things like that. And we'll add and change songs because we don't want to get bored playing the same songs over and over every night. You know, we want to change it up a little bit.
Right. Yeah, it's a, like Robert said, different show. Like, you know, and obviously, you know, Cleveland's close too. So you guys come out on tour, but I'll be there. I'll definitely be there. How about any last words, guys, for the audience? You know, we discussed a lot here, you know, and I could talk to you all night, obviously.
Mhm.
But how about any last words? I mean, you know, for what we can expect, let the fans know, you know, number one, you know, got the new single hitting tomorrow, or in Europe already, and then you got the, you know, album on August 25th, and we're all excited about. How about anything, you know, for the fans? Any last words?
Well, I think we're going to be doing, you know, the Escape is going to release another video, You and I, which is on the album, song called You and I. According to what Khalil has told me, he likes that song, and he thinks that we should have 2 original songs,
Yeah.
first and second. You know, that's his thinking.
A week.
Yeah, a week before
Yeah.
the album releases, you know, that's when he's going to probably release You and I with a new video. And then after that, we can do Under Pressure video, which is, you know, is really good. And we can do that anytime after that. So that's when I think when we're really going to hit people in the face is when we release the You and I video, and then we do Under Pressure video within a short span of time.
Yeah.
And the album's going to be out. They're going to see these videos, and they're going to listen to them, and they're going to go, wow, you know. It's really up to the people, you know. It's in their hands, you know, right now. You know, if they like it, we love them, you know.
But we love it. We love what we do, what we did, and we're proud of it. So, you know, we were true to ourselves. We were challenging ourselves as to be our best at what we are trying to do and did and accomplish. So when we just, you know, I think they'll find it interesting and very musical, and we're happy with it.
I think you know, as far as the album Reconnected goes, it's what I said earlier. It's, you know, some of the old classic Hurricane mixed with the brand new Hurricane, and it's just the coming together of it all. And yeah, we hope the fans love it, because we enjoyed making it, we enjoyed writing it. There's some good stuff that's on it. So, you know, we're looking forward to having it out there, and let's run with it, you know.
Can't wait till it's out.
How about you, Mike?
I'm just sitting tight right now. I mean, I'm just, you know, I just want to see how it just develops. You know, I mean, I'm curious to see how the fans react to it. You know, I mean, I'm excited to see. You know, we're gonna get our haters. I know that every band has them. You know, but I know we're gonna generate a lot of new fans, younger fans, because you know, just the shows that we've done in the past, it's kind of been a thermometer reader for us. And I'm going to tell you what, there's a lot of little kids that like us, man. You know, I mean, I'm talking 11 years old, 10 years old. I'm just like, whoa, man. You know, it's like, so there's a new generation of 80s rock people, you know. So, I mean, we want to definitely satisfy our old fans, but you know, man, you know, I always tell people taste is in your mouth. You know what I mean? And everybody's got their opinion and, you know, about what they think or what they see you as your band and how you should be and what you should have done or what you should do. I mean, dude, how about just enjoy the damn record and just, we're out there to put songs. I mean, a band, we're just here to play music, dude. We're not, you know, I mean, we're not trying to turn us into slavery or go to prison for what we did or, you know, I mean, if you like our stuff, if you don't like our stuff, just move the fuck on, you know?
That's right.
I'm going to be show. Okay. So
That's
for
right.
those fans that are, you know, pissed off about, because we don't have Jay in the band or have Kelly in the band, you know, we accept that, but you don't have to drill us on it because you know what, there's nothing you're going to do about it. You know,
Exactly.
I mean, this is what we are, who we are. If you like what we do, come on down, be a part of our team. But if you don't, just move on, man. We don't need to hear the bullshit. You know, that's my opinion.
Right. I'm
Well,
with you
you
on
know,
that.
also, I'm using Black Sabbath as an example. When Ozzy left Black Sabbath and Ronnie James Dio came in, did people hate him? You know, did they accept him? Yes, they did. And those are some of the greatest albums ever made. And
I agree.
so, you know, Dan, you know, he's a great singer and he's got charisma on stage. He's a good performer. He knows how to talk to the crowd. And there's no reason why, you know, they don't like him. And when people hear this album, they're going to see that they're going to think, okay, Kelly was great, but Dan, he's the guy now. We love it. You know, that's what they're going to feel.
We're artists and musicians, and you know,
We evolve.
we love what we do. So we're just creating, and you know, you move on.
Yeah.
Things are
You know,
different.
Right.
every
We
day, and-
evolve. Everybody's evolving, you know, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You
So
know,
you know,
Bands need to evolve too, is what I'm trying to get at here, right, guys?
Yeah.
You know,
That's right. That's right.
and you know,
They do. They evolve. You know, everybody always asks me, how do you think that Nirvana changed the music industry? You know, were you pissed off because it changed it? And I go, no, Nirvana was a great band. And it's not them that changed the music industry. It's the people that changed the music industry because they liked Nirvana and they bought all the records. It wasn't Nirvana. They couldn't have done it by themselves. It's the people that did it.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Well, guys, in closing here, I always thought that, you know, in my opinion, I thought, you know, Hurricane was one of the best bands of that genre, you know, back then. And I really want to see you guys take it to the top this time because the band deserves it. You know, it's the quality of the music, the you know, the passion that you guys have and everything is I mean, upper echelon. And I hope you really get this and this album just crushes it and it just keeps leading on and on and on with a huge fan base because, you know, in my opinion, you guys deserve it. And coming from a fan that you know, like Mike said, adapts and enjoys the old stuff just as much as the new stuff.
Yeah. You know,
I thank you guys for doing what you do, like I said earlier, because it's so much passion for me listening to what you do and those memories and the memories that I know I'm gonna remember, hey, you know, I heard Rockstar Cheater and I was doing this. This is the first time I heard this. You know, and just keep doing what you're doing because you know it's appreciated by me, you know, as a
Thank
fan.
you.
Thanks, John. That's cool, man.
And we love what you do, man. We really do.
And I know you're a fan because you wouldn't have reached out or how this ever happened. We wouldn't be doing this right today. You know what I mean? So you are a big fan, and I know that. We know that. That's why we're here.
We appreciate you. We
Yeah.
appreciate all the
We
people
appreciate.
that like our music, you know, so
Right.
well, good.
And the same with you guys. Like I said, I'll be spreading the word. You know, a new video comes out tomorrow. It'll be on all my socials. It'll be everywhere. We'll spread it.
Okay.
Thanks,
New
John.
album. I'll keep spreading the EPK and anything that you guys have to, you know, that you need shared or whatever. You know, when the shows start,
Yeah.
you know,
he's gonna-
when different things come out, we'll be spreading the word.
You guys did. I just went and seen Avatar, dude. The soundtrack for Avatar is all rock songs, man.
Right. That's it. That's it. I mean, it's alive everywhere, but yet it doesn't get pushed like it should. I scratch my head with this stuff every day. I mean, yeah, obviously people are listening to YouTube, but then you got all the streaming services and everything. So everybody's fighting for, you know, that little piece of pie, and it's tough. I mean, it's just like, you know, that I said earlier. I can't understand why a band like Hurricane wasn't up here. You know, what was the difference? It was obviously, you know, they weren't being played enough, weren't being pushed enough, or whatever it was. But you know, this time I think, you know, you guys are going to crack it this time. It's time. It's
Well, thanks,
time.
man. We appreciate it. We appreciate you pushing.
All right, guys. So everybody, give us the links to where we can get the stuff at. Where can we get the CD, the vinyl?
So we're on our website, hurricanerockband.com, and from that, there's links to Deco Entertainment and Escape Music, and all the links are there. All the links are across our social media as well to get out. There's bundles
Make
about
sure you
it as
get the
well.
EPK.
Yeah, the EPK, of course, on YouTube. So yeah,
Go to the
We're-
website. Yeah.
we'll be spreading that. I spread that probably like 5 or 6 times, so I'll be getting it out there for you guys.
Awesome.
Thank you, dude. Thank you.
Thank you.
John.
All right, guys. Yeah, I appreciate it. You know, thanks for taking the time to join Talking to Fast Lane, and you know, I wish you the best of luck with this album. I really do. I
Thank you.
can't wait to hear it. I'll tell you what, I can't wait to hear it.
Play it loud.
I can't either.
Yeah. Crank it up to 11.
John.
That's it. That's it. All right, guys.
Thank
Have a
you,
good night, and thanks for joining us.
man. You too, bro.
Thanks.